Introducing the Bite Me Cannabis Club. The Bite Me Cannabis Club aims to be an inclusive online space for cannabis lovers. Whether you're simply curious about how cannabis can improve your life or you're fully seasoned, there's always more to learn. When you join the Bite Me Cannabis Club, you'll have access to like-minded people interested in cannabis, monthly workshops, live Q&As, recipes and recipe swaps, digital cookbooks, a fully functional chat feature, and a whole lot more. For a limited time, it's only $5 a month with a 30-day free trial so you can try it out and see if it's right for you. This isn't just another Facebook group or confusing Discord channel. I carefully chose a platform that offers a clear, uncluttered, and seamless community experience. See for yourself, join today, say hello. I can't wait to connect with you there. Join the Bite Me Cannabis Club today. Link in your podcast app. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bite Me, a podcast all about edibles. I am your host, Marge, and today we have a special treat. I know it's been a while, but I've been trying to get a special guest on. He's right here beside me, Mad Dog Chris Madden, for story time. So it's a little bit different this week. Last week, or whenever that was, if you have been listening, I did a review of the Magical Butter Machine, and I behoove you to go back and check that out. You might be surprised at what it can do for you. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over for a quick second for Chris so he can say hello.
Hello.
Thanks, Chris. I swear this will be more compelling than what you just heard. Chris is here today because, children, it's story time, like I said, and he has a cautionary tale. And, yeah. Do you have anything more you'd like to add for a second?
Just that I've cleared my entire schedule today to make myself available to you. And, sit back and enjoy.
All right. Well, without further ado, I hate that saying. Moving forward, whatever. I turn it over to Chris with his cautionary tale.
All right. Well, I guess this story begins probably about a year and a half ago when Margaret and I started experimenting with making gummy treats from marijuana extract. And one of the issues was that at the beginning we didn't know the potency, so the first couple batches we made didn't get me high at all. I mean, I ate quite a large amount, started out small, started increasing, and then, nothing happened. I think it gave me this false sense of security. So we made another batch, and again, I started out with, these were 3 or 4 gummy bears at a time and really didn't feel anything. Now, I must also mention that I have a bit of a sweet tooth for gummy bears. I just love to eat them.
Can confirm.
Not medicinal gummy bears and or gummy treats of any kind. So I was watching some show and I just grabbed the whole tray of them because they come in these like plastic gummy trays. So I just grabbed the whole tray and I started watching, and I just started popping them in my mouth and just wasn't really keeping track or counting of how many I've eaten. And by the end of the show, I looked down and I'd eaten 3 or 4 rows. I think I told Margaret it was 2 rows, but actually in actual fact, it was quite a bit more than that. And I was okay for maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes. And then like a light switch just flipping on, I became extremely overwhelmed. I went up to my bedroom and lied down on my bed in a fetal position and just started to shake. Like my nervous system completely took over, and I was shaking rather violently and continuously. And you can imagine that when your body is sort of acting in this fashion, your brain also comes online as well and registers this panic. And you try and tell yourself that no one's ever OD'd on weed before and that it's just, that you just have to wait it out. But that's very hard to do when you are violently shaking. And this was not for a short time. This was not for like 5 minutes. This was more over an hour at least, maybe longer. And I didn't know what to do. I was just panicking. And finally, sort of the symptoms eventually subsided, but it made me very scared of, sort of eating edibles going forward after that. And I realized that maybe perhaps going forward, I need to be a little bit more mindful of while I'm actually consuming the edibles. And yeah, that feeling is it's real extreme and it's quite scary. And it happens very rarely, but when it does, man, it is powerful. So that's story number one. I do have a second story from just recently, but Marge would love to get in.
I just wanted to interject for those of you listening that when we ate those gummies, because I had some of those gummies too, and I also have a sweet tooth and love gummies. And the first batch, like you said, was pretty shitty. Nothing really happened. But to put into context, these gummies were pretty small. But a row of gummies in these silicone trays was about 10 gummies.
Yeah,
so when he said he ate 3 or 4 rows, that's like 30 or 40 of these gummies. And that second time when I had made them, I remember sitting across from you or watching something like The Walking Dead, which is the worst thing I find to watch when you're getting high. It's scary, scary stuff. I had eaten I remember about 8 gummies. And I was feeling pretty good. And I remember looking over at you. And it was pretty clear before you actually told me what you'd done. It was pretty clear by your facial expressions and your body language that you were in some distress.
Was that the same time when we were watching The Walking Dead? I do remember, was a huge fan of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, at the time.
And yeah, I remember watching it and just the show just suddenly looked completely stupid. The whole plot line and they're trying to make every scene it was just, I couldn't even watch it. I was like, this is absolutely horrible. What am I doing wasting my time watching this crap? Whereas before I was like waiting on the edge of my seat for the new episode to come.
Of that show.
Well, sometimes, getting high and watching TV shows can really give you a new perspective.
It certainly does.
On the
So anyway, I just wanted to include that little interjection just so people had some context. Like when you said you ate too many gummies, you definitely ate way too many. So I'll let you continue with your second story.
Well, I don't think I've had eaten too much edibles since then, up until 2 days ago, where I ate. Yeah, don't you remember? I ate a cookie, and these cookies, I ate a full cookie, and by the way, Marge makes the most delicious cookies in the entire world.
I've perfected it by now, yes.
They are spot on. I mean, they are delicious. You don't taste any weed. They're great. But I ate a cookie, and I'd eaten over the past 3 weeks. I'd probably eaten a full cookie at least half dozen times, maybe more. And with always like super positive results, right in that happy zone and, no adverse effects. But I ate the same cookie from a similar batch, and it freaked me out. It just, again, it started slow. My hands started shaking, and then my body started shaking, and my heart started racing. My breathing became really erratic, and I started, freaking out. And Marge was with me at the time and was trying to calm me down. I had to sit up, and I was in full panic attack mode. It's horrible. If you've ever had a panic attack, I'm sure you just like your body just gets hijacked. And what I really learned was that, I don't know if this is like this for everyone, but there's a real tipping point with edibles. Like a very definite spot where you just one moment you're completely fine, and you step over the edge and you're in a free fall. And in this instance, there was no expectation of that happening because I'd eaten these identical cookies for, like I said, for the past couple of weeks with no problems. And if you're not big on edibles, it's kind of like drinking. When you go drinking and, you have a lot to drink and you're just feeling happy, and then the switch flicks and you're just vomiting uncontrollably.
It's kind of like you hit the wall.
Yeah, no, you don't vomit, but I mean, it just happens like kind of sudden, and then it's extreme. And it only lasted about 20 minutes or so, but it was a horrible 20 minutes. And
so the only thing I can think for that moment, because like you said, these cookies that I typically make in the exact same way every time, just to avoid moments like this. But I also do find sometimes when it comes to edibles, tolerance builds quickly. And so if it's been a while since you've eaten cookies, so sometimes I go through phases where I eat cookies like every single night for like a month. And then for whatever reason, my body...
Every day for a month? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
no wonder you're in such a
right
good
now.
mood all the time.
But naturally, sometimes my body will go through this phase where I'm like, I don't really want any right now. I'm actually currently in one of those phases, which will probably change when we go on the family vacation next week. But I haven't eaten a cookie, I don't know, in a week and a half, maybe, something like that. I also haven't need to make some, so that could also be that too. But I find when I dip my toe back into eating cookies, I need to maybe eat a half a cookie. But then I do find my tolerance builds pretty quickly. So it could be that you hadn't eaten a cookie in a while.
Well, I hadn't eaten much, but I just came up with this brainchild. Why didn't we both eat 3 cookies each before an hour before the podcast and actually do the podcast while we were having panic attacks?
Well, because nobody wants to listen to two people having panic attacks.
They absolutely do.
No,
they absolutely do.
I tried actually
let's
a few weeks ago to we ate some cookies and I wanted you to do a podcast with me and you were like, no way, man.
Well, don't be chicken shit, all right? You could actually show people in real time what it's like.
In real time.
Yeah.
Well, the whole point of this show, the tagline, which I think I forgot to mention in the intro, is take control of your high life.
I thought it was bite me.
That's the name of the podcast. But
that's what you're doing to my idea. You're telling them, bite me, bud.
That's right.
Your idea sucks.
Take control of your high life is the purpose of the show to help people avoid having panic attacks. I don't know if having a live panic attack on air would actually be that interesting. I mean, it might be hard to
try it out, Try it out.
I haven't had a panic attack in a very long time.
Your mom's house would say, try it out.
Try it out, that's right. So if you people out there listening, if you haven't heard episode 3, The Dose is the Poison, or episode 4, 9 Tricks to Try When You Get Too High, I suggest you go back and listen to them so you can avoid doing what Chris did.
Well, yeah, there was one key strategy that I'd never tried before that Margaret got out this meditation oak app that we have on our phones, this breathing app, and my breathing was like I couldn't control it, and I just started doing what's the breathing? It's like
it's
4, 7,
yeah.
And wow, did that ever really help? I mean, it didn't eliminate it, but it brought me down from like a level 10 panic attack to like a level 5.
Right.
And I suddenly felt like I could make it to the end of this thing without calling an ambulance.
So you heard it here first, folks. Yeah. The 4-7-8 breathing is a very effective technique in helping somebody come down from that panic state when they've had too many edibles. And I'm really happy that you could report back, because sometimes you read this stuff and I don't know too many people who've actually had to try it, but you have, and that's wonderful to hear.
Well, yeah, it takes your focus away from thinking like your death is imminent to just focusing solely on trying to breathe. And it was not easy either to breathe that sequence. But
you did mention that Oak app. So for anyone, it's a free meditation app you can download for, I believe, Apple and Android phones. And it's actually pretty great because it sort of guides you through the 4-7-8 breathing. So when you are in a state like that, you don't have to try and think.
Count numbers? No.
Count.
Yeah.
It has a visual thing so you can just follow along, and then you can hit repeat as much as you need. So it is a pretty effective tool. And, if you want to take up meditation or any other kind of breathing exercises, I would recommend it. But that's an aside. So yeah, I really appreciate you joining me today for story time. And I'm hoping this is something we can do moving forward with some other people. If you have other stories or whatever, I suggest anyone listening, if you have something to share, you can always email me at bitemepodcast@fastmail.com. And I would love to hear from you. And if I feature it on this show, there's a giveaway for you. I'm not going to tell you what. It's a surprise. Well.
What are you giving away?
I can't announce it right now.
Oh, I see. You're building some suspense.
That ruins the surprise.
Okay.
So, also stories. If you have questions or comments or anything, I'd love to hear them. And we do have the giveaway. So that's it for this week. I really appreciate you, Chris Mad Dog Madden, for coming on today to share your experiences. And until next time, you guys... I want to say keep fit and have fun, but that's not
That's Janet McLeod and Hal Johnson.
I know. For all you Canadians out there, that's something completely different. But keep making your edibles, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Are you tired of trying edibles that are inconsistent in strength and flavor? Attempting to figure out your tolerance? Do you want to take control of your edibles experience and find the optimum combination of factors that results in the best outcome? If so, this edibles journal is perfect for you. The Bite Me Edibles Journal provides a convenient and organized way for you to track and record your edibles experience, whether it's homemade edibles or store-bought. It includes 48 fillable pages. It's sized 8.5 by 11 for plenty of writing space, includes information on calculating the potency of homemade edibles, and it was created by an edibles expert. Whether you're a seasoned edibles enthusiast or just starting out on your cannabis journey, the Bite Me Edibles Journal is an essential tool for anyone interested in enjoying their edibles to the fullest. Take control of your high life with this convenient and helpful resource. Add it to your Amazon cart today. Tap the link in the show notes.